Let's go! Whoa, 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 whoa! How about that for a weird transition? What's up, everybody, dudes and dudettes? It's episode 4 of, we changed it already, Random Thoughts with the Rev White Trash Mike. We had to throw the random in there because this is the most random, pointless show. It's not really pointless. It just doesn't have a path. we have A, we get to Z. Don't question us on B through Y. Just don't. But we'll get there. That's a fact. But one thing is for sure, we are proud to have Willow's Seasoning and Spices to a part of this show. Home of congratulations to them. They just went to the American Royal. He wasn't able to go, but they did receive the hot seasoning champion of the American Royal this year, the Sweet Heat. Recent controversy with Sweet Heat, but that's a different talk. Isn't that right, Rev?
Yes, sir. That's a totally different conversation.
Oh, man. Make sure you shake this bottle very well before using on the Sweet Heat. That's all we can say. But also the Memphis barbecue, phenomenal. Sweet smoke, so good. And then the High Elevation SPG. It's not just SPG. It's got chipotle powder in it and also ground coffee. So it's actually got a nice little flavor profile. Nice base layer for your brisket, your beef, basically anything. With the salt content, with all the salt content in it. Great on chicken. Great on some Yardbird. But yeah, thank you, Willow. And hey, man, cheers to you, brother. Thanks. You know, this is Cleveland whiskey. I mean, even though they're not part of the show, you know, I don't live with a glass without it. So,
you know,
yeah, no beers this week. No beers. Day 4, no beers.
What's Bush gonna do?
I said what I said.
What? I mean, should we call and see if they're okay? I mean, do we need to bail them out, or?
I mean, all I want to say is, hang on, let's look at the stock market. I'm pretty sure it's already going down on Bush.
Should we start a fundraiser?
My kids are alive and well, so I apologize to anybody in advance. Hey, I'm doing a show.
Same. Should we start a GoFundMe for
John Deere? It's down. It's literally Anheuser-Busch was down 93 cents today, which is about 2%. Hang on.
That, for people who are wondering, that 2% is Tony's purchase for the week.
Yep. Yeah, I took down a multi-billion corporation by simply not drinking for 4 days. I think they should become a part of the Dude Network. We're already changing. We're changing the outlook of their 2023 forecast.
We're gonna have to get Shabo to start doubling down and using Bush so we can save them.
Yeah, we got to get him off the whole Coors Light thing because that's not flying with me. I don't need no Colorado Kool-Aid, man. No, sir. Even though Willow is out of Colorado, shout out. But so I think we left off with Italy. We're going to dive into Italy, and which means Americanized version of Italian food by yours truly, I'm sure, because I'll ask a lot of stupid questions. You're going to be like, no. And but we did talk about Germany last time. We've knocked out Russian food, German food, and the first one we did was
distillation and rectification of alcohol was the first one.
Oh yeah. That was a good one. That was the pilot. Everybody go back. Hey, by the way, if you want, like, man, that sounds really interesting. I'd like to watch those. Well, you can on YouTube. Just give us a subscribe. Go to the search bar, type in Rev White Trash just on the show there, and I guarantee you the episodes will pop up on there. So, Italian food, man. Again, one thing what I have learned, and that was very obvious and is not clear to me, it's going to be what part of Italy you're from. And Italian food is very province based. That's probably an inappropriate way of wording it, but in my brain, province based makes the most sense. And because you got a bunch in the sea, you got a bunch of like seafood, like Mediterranean, but then you also got the mountains in northern Italy, which are connected to a lot of other countries through the Alps. So I am sure that you are going to tell us that there is a massive amounts of different kinds of Italian food other than just pasta, noodles, pizza,
Spaghetti and meatballs. One of the interesting things is, so the two biggest things we think about when we think of Italian food is pasta and tomatoes, right?
Makes sense.
Okay. Originally, pasta isn't indigenous to Italy. That was brought by Marco Polo during his exploration. Polo of the Far East and brought it to Italy. The same thing for tomatoes. Tomatoes aren't indigenous to that region of the world. They're actually from Central and South America. So when Spanish explorers came to the New World, they brought it back through Spain, Portugal, and eventually Italy. So when you're eating spaghetti marinara, that's not really Italian. The Italians just made it better.
Italians just perfectoed it. See what I did there? All day.
Yeah. Snazzy.
Hey.
One of the biggest things is, so here in America, especially on the East Coast, like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Boston, there's a big difference between American Italian food and Italian food.
And I'm curious to know from this show, my goal at the end of it is what's Italian and what's Fugazi Italian. See what I did there? I'm on it today, man. You can tell I haven't done a good food show in about 4 days because I'm feeling it. So,
number one, for those who don't know, Fugazi means fake in Italian.
Yeah, fake ass shit. You're a poser.
So, like, especially back east, is the only place you're ever going to get, like, a side of spaghetti marinara. So, like, if you order a steak, you're going to get potatoes on the side, right? So, a lot of places, spaghetti marinara is the side at the Italian restaurant. Like, you can order spaghetti and meatballs and get a side of spaghetti marinara. That's just how it comes.
Right.
A lot of things, especially when you're talking to Mediterranean regions of Italy on the Amalfi Coast, all the way down to like Calabria and then into the different islands like Sardinia and Capri. Those heavy Italian meals that we think of, like everything at the Olive Garden, in our house, we call that the bologna Alfredo because that's what it is. It's total garbage. And just for the record, so I had a second job being their breadstick guy for about a year, and my wife worked at the bologna Alfredo for like 6 years.
Oh, man.
And my Nona, because I'm half Italian, was probably rolling over in her grave because all of that is straight garbage.
I'm actually also curious how many times I mix up Greek food with Italian food since they're so close together.
Well, and that's kind of the regional thing, like in the Amalfi Coast, and like if you look at Italy, everyone calls it the boot, right?
Yeah, the big boot.
The tip of the boot is Calabria, Italy.
Just the tip.
Exactly. And see, that region has a lot of commerce and trade with the Greek islands and then the other Italian islands surrounding it. So there's a lot of blending of flavors and a lot of blending of cuisines.
Okay.
One of the biggest things down in that region, aside from having amazing seafood and Mediterranean fish, they're also known for chili peppers.
Interesting.
Yeah, so if you look up like Calabrian chilies are some of the best in the world. I'm sure Nombre's
gonna... Where do Gaucho? That's Spain. Sorry, Gaucho's Spanish. My bad. See, look at me. I knew I'd do it. I was doing really good, but I blew it. Continue.
So I'm sure Nombre's gonna fight me on that one, but you know what? Like Calabrian chili peppers are some of the strongest naturally. Like Reaper peppers and Carolinas, all of this stuff that are engineered to be extra spicy. Some peppers that grow in Italy can be that high on the Scoville scale naturally.
Okay.
You can actually, we can get them imported either like canned, where they're packed in oil, or you can get them dried. And you can make some of the best hot sauce on the planet with Calabrian chili peppers.
Ooh. I'm not a big spicy guy though, man. Like,
bro.
I like tangy. I love tangy. I love a bite. I don't like losing. I don't like losing sensation in my mouth, man, because then I can't taste the food and it's just not enjoyable. And I start sweating. I'm already a hot-blooded dude, and I'm already tired of sweating all the damn time. So I don't need anything. And as I sip on a small glass of Cleveland whiskey here, but yeah, it's
that's all about balance, though, man. If you balance your other flavors, the heat's not a problem, and you can taste the flavor.
And I think that's what it really is. Because I know when we had like BT Lee's on the show, he was like, put the spicy on the bottom of the ribs, and then the sweet on top. And then when you
so it all melts
from the
down.
bottom up, it disperses the heat into the sweet up top. And like that was like, I love that guy. That guy was awesome to have on because he had a bunch of bangers like that. But yeah, that was like, you're right though. I think I would probably enjoy hot sauce a lot more if it was utilized properly, other than just to clear up my face when I have a sinus infection.
Yeah, exactly. That was one of the things, because my wife is half Mexican, so she's all about the chili peppers, and we do Taco Tuesday like 4 nights a week. And then I introduced her to the Colombian chilies, so now she has to buy those every time we find them at the store. Like, that's a thing in our house now.
Taco Day. You don't have Taco Tuesday. You have Taco Days.
Yeah.
What's today? Taco Day. What's tomorrow? Taco Day.
Taco or pizza, man.
It's taco. Hey, there's nothing wrong with tacos or pizza, man. That's why you're part of the Dude Network. You live it.
That's kind of thing.
I think that needs to be a shirt. Dude Network, home with tacos and pizza.
I'm in. We should totally make that.
Yeah, for
Speaking of pizza, that's one of the things that we think of is quintessentially Italian, like here in America. But the fact of the matter is, every culture has some sort of flatbread, right?
Right.
Whether it's Native Americans making fry bread, whether it's non bread.
Because everyone forgets, like, flour, water, yeast. That's what you need.
That's it.
That's it.
And the thing is, what we know as pizza now was invented because of Princess Margherita of Naples touring the country. So when she was touring the country, Italy, these artisans who were making flatbreads, they said, come up with something special for the princess when she visited. And one of them was like roasted goat. The other one was like pesto and squid. And then they made what we now know as pizza margherita, which is the flatbread, tomatoes, mozzarella, and fresh basil.
Oh, and man, I think I don't know if you've noticed, but you probably know because you're super supportive, but I did flatbread pizzas a couple weeks ago, and I did no sauce. First time I've ever done a pizza with no sauce, just like a bed of tomatoes and like some olive oil and like Italian seasoning on them, like Tina Cannon's European blend. Yeah. And yeah, dude, it was phenomenal. Like, there's so much flavor in like a cooked down Roma pepper that you grow Roma tomato that you grow yourself. Yeah, and it wasn't messy. It was like the cleanest eating pizza of all time.
Yeah, that's how we got the pizza that we know today. That was the birth of it.
Pizza.
Yeah.
Mozzarella.
It's the simplicity of design. I work at a pizzeria, being, semi-retired. I'm the pizza guy, right? Everybody always, what do you put on your pizza, Tony? If you go order from your local pizza joint or Domino's or whatever, what's your order?
Anything meat with thick. I'm a thick crust guy. And then white onions and mushrooms.
I'd shake my head. You got to go with the Kevin McAllister, man, every time.
Cheese pizza? You are a cheese pizza. I think you've said that. You live off the cheese pizza, and it drives your wife crazy because you only get cheese pizza.
It does. You know what? And the two things that drive her insane, it's cheese pizza and vanilla ice cream. Because, and it's for the same reason, I can tell the quality of the restaurant and the establishment by that simple order. Because what's a cheese pizza? It's crust, sauce, and cheese. So you have to have a good crust, you have to have a good sauce, and you have to have good cheese.
Right.
Like, when you've had one too many and you order a slice that's got like bacon, ham, sausage, peppers, onions, you're covering up all kinds of sins in the pizza world with the toppings.
but you're also exposing technique and quality of meat. I feel like on your meat lovers, you can also tell the quality of how serious they are, because anybody can heat up some like frozen cooked sausage and throw it on there. But there's also the
Yeah,
ones that you can
exactly.
tell that they ground up the sausage and seasoned it themselves and put it on there. So hey, we're both hey, like we said, we always end up at Z, but how we get there is different. You
Yeah,
go by the
exactly.
cheese, I go by
For
how are these
us,
toppings going to taste. I can tell when
we
shit comes right out of the
we make
freezer
all
and
that
on
from
and put
scratch.
it on the pizza. Yeah,
Like the pizza joint I work at, we make ours from scratch. Like we get all the different meats, do our seasoning blend, and like hand blend all of that kind of stuff. So if you order like sausage on your pizza, that's made in house.
Now, so
And
mozzarella. You said mozzarella. That is a true Italian thing, not an American thing. Because people think mozzarella over here is shredded mozzarella, but the art of making mozzarella involves like water and like this massive process of like playing with it in the water and ripping it out of
it's
the
actually
water and like
it's actually not as complicated as you think. So basically, you're taking
coming
a
from Rev, this ought to be good.
it's a high fat content milk, and then you add something called rennet, and it's either vegetable or animal rennet, and that separates your milk. You remember Little Miss Muffet sat in a tuffet eating her curds and whey?
No.
That's what you're creating when you do that. You're separating the milk fats and the curds, and then you pour off the whey. Then you add your salt for flavoring. And what you're talking about, that big bowl or bucket of water, what that is super hot water. And what you're doing is that's creating your stretch. So basically, it reforms those curds and creates strands that create your loaf of cheese. That's what that is. So you form it into a ball, dunk it in the hot water, it sort of starts melting, and then you pull it out real quick and fold it and fold it and pull it and stretch it to make the kind of cheese and blend everything together. And you repeat that process.
Easy. Super easy.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, dudes and dudettes, the Rev, you will find out, has a much different version of easy than a normal dude off the street. Don't let the white trash fool you. He's high class.
Bro, I didn't have a microwave in my house till my youngest kid turned 6. My oldest kid turned 21 2 weeks ago. Give you a little life perspective.
Yeah, I mean, you had your first one, you were like 8. Good for you, bud.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man. So, all right, pasta.
Sure.
Now, from what I've understood, true Italian pasta is like so paper thin that you can like see through it. Again, compared
Depends.
to like the fettuccine out here or the linguine, I mean, where it's thick and wide and
that really depends on application. So it depends on what you're making. One of the best examples you can have. So if you go to the grocery store and you go in the pasta aisle, there's Barilla pasta in a blue box. You ever seen the light blue box that nobody ever pays attention to?
What's it called?
I have no idea because I don't remember. But here's the thing. Originally, pasta was made by hand. It's eggs and flour. That's it. So Nona would be making pasta for, Sunday dinner or whatever. Eventually, the Industrial Revolution happened, and they started coming up with extruders, these machines that would do it. Well, to extrude the pasta, there's a die plate that has the different sizes and shapes of the pasta, right? So originally, they were either copper or brass. Well, when you use durum semolina flour, it's coarse. Well, those plates would cause ridges. The flour, because it's so coarse, would actually grind notches in those plates. Well, the odd effect was you don't get a smooth pasta. All the pasta has ridges, which means your sauce is going to stick to it better. So after a while, they started making the plates out of stainless steel, no ridges, and then people stopped buying it because it didn't work the same. So you cook your pasta, toss it with the sauce, and you get a puddle of sauce at the bottom. So this one company went back to the original 18 and 1900 version of the plates and use only brass. So you get the ridges.
Okay. Solid. Yeah, I'd take a drag too after that one. That was good. That was solid. drop the cart. So what's okay? So we're already like 20 already, dude. I knew we might have to do a part 2 to Italy, man.
Yeah,
there's
part 2
a
might
lot.
be a thing.
Part 2 might have to be a thing. So what is? I think I know what the answer is going to be to this because I might have already asked you this before, but to everybody watching, in your opinion, what is the most Americanized Italian dish that's not even Italian?
What do you think it is?
Alfredo.
Absolutely. Fettuccine Alfredo is not Italian at all.
I think that's what you've always said, but I wanted to get it on the record.
The two things that come close to being fettuccine Alfredo that are actually Italian, number one is carbonara sauce. That's the closest to a cream sauce that you get. Okay. Number two, there is a version that comes close, but all it is pasta. You cook your pasta, put it in a bowl, add whipped egg yolks, and then Parmesan cheese, and just stir it. A little cracked black pepper and a little salt on top, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah. The thing
does
the
egg yolk cook while the pasta's still hot, or no?
No, so it doesn't congeal. It tightens up the sauce. It acts as a binder for the cheese, so everything kind of folds together. The thing is, Alfredo sauce is basically a bechamel sauce, one of the French mother sauces that we've added Italian cheeses and spices to.
Okay. What is your top 3 Italian cheeses?
Mozzarella, because I make it. I do all kinds of cool stuff with that. If you ever want to have a really interesting life experience, make some mozzarella cheese from scratch and then put it in your smoker.
Oh?
Yeah, so you just make your standard balls of mozzarella, tie them up in cheesecloth, and then suspend them in your smoker so you get all that smoke flavor in them. And then do like a charcuterie gold.
You're saying cold smoke like 150, 125, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you have a bar smoker, it works great because you don't have to worry about it melting.
Or you can use a propane with a smoker tube.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
But do up like
really excited, by the way. It's sausage season, man. It's like 50 degrees outside right now. I'm so jacked. But anyway, go ahead. So smoked mozzarella is one. You have 2 more, top 3.
Provolone, that's another good one, especially.
Oh, dude. You've already said my top 2. I didn't realize provolone was Italian, so that's exciting.
That's one of those things where that's more quintessential East Coast Italian than it is actual Italian. But you give me some good sausage and peppers, some melted provolone on top, a nice
cold cuts, man.
What you know what that's gonna have to be for part 2, man, because that's a whole nother half hour alone on cured Italian meats.
I was going to say your top 3 charcuteries next, but we will wait for we'll do Italian charcuterie and like dry aging and like the Lonza and
prosciutto di Parma,
the capicola, the wurst, the liver pate, meat pate, like yeah. Is Italy known for dry? Okay, so that's a big dry aging thing. So is Italian culture one of the largest dry aging cultures in the world?
There's the top 2. It's Spain and Italy, man.
See, Spain's like going to be the next one up because I work with this company called Florida Spice Company, and they do everything is like not American Spanish, like Spanish based, but with like a Florida twist to it.
Sure.
Like gaucho garlic. They use a lot of gaucho garlics and perilladilla and like sazon and like dude, they do so much cool stuff. But it really opened my eyes to like Spanish. Like Spanish is a really cool. You don't hear anything about over here. We don't celebrate true Spanish cuisine over here, so that'll be a really good one for us to dive into too. But first, part 1 of Italy. So you had mozzarella, provolone. I swear to God, we're going to get this top three one way or another. And your third,
Parmesan from Parma.
yeah, Parmesan. Okay. Hey, all white cheeses. That's what all white cheeses.
One of the interesting things is the same region of Italy that Parmesan is from, Parma, is also known for their cured meats.
You know, Cleveland's got a town called outside of Cleveland called Parma, and they're known for their meats too. Parma is really got a big Polish community up there, really good brats and kielbasi and stuff like that in Parma, and they're really known for their pierogies. And
those are good stuff, man.
Yeah, that's Polish culture. That's another one. I mean, dude, we got so many of these to do. It's so exciting because like Polish pierogies. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So finishing out here on Italy on this one. In your opinion, what is your favorite Italian item of cuisine that Americans probably never even heard of? That 99% of Americans don't know about.
Feast of the Seven Fishes.
Feast of Seven Fishes.
Yes.
Is that a plate or is that truly 7 different kinds of fish?
It could be more than 7.
Okay.
So it's Italian tradition that New Year or Christmas Eve, you don't eat meat, right? Well, it's also a tradition that you only eat fish. So you have this big spread that is every kind of fish dish you can imagine. And some of the most
potluck.
Yeah. One year we got a whole octopus and did it in marinara style. It was really good.
Good. You are Italian, so is this something you guys did over here in the States, I'm assuming?
I do it every year.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm actually second generation Italian American. My grandfather immigrated in 1937.
America.
Yep.
So does that mean he had to fight in World War II?
He is actually one of the 3 soldiers in World War II who actually got a Russian Medal of Valor. He fought in the 75th Infantry Battalion, and I'll send you the article if you want to post it, from the New York Times back in 1947. But he actually single-handedly, as the squad leader, connected the U.S. and Russian lines in the middle of the Battle of Ants on the Roll River.
Dude, that's epic.
Ran for 1,800 meters back and forth like 9 times over 3 days.
So the reason I was like kind of like half picking on the times of how messed up it was, like, oh yeah, well, you'll come over. Congratulations, you get to volunteer for our army.
Pretty much.
I didn't know that he's like, all right, sure, let me go like win like the most prestigious medals of valor ever, and then I'll come back and then I'll start my American life. Yeah.
Yep. And
dude,
after that,
different breeds back then, man. Different breeds.
It was fun. One of my friends, his old lady was like, my dog has allergies. And I looked at my brother there and said, go tell my World War II vet grandfather your dog has allergies.
So, what part of Italy were they from then?
We are from Calabria, actually.
Now, I don't know where that's at. Is it close to the water? Is it inland? Is it mountains?
That is the tip of the boot on the Amalfi Coast.
Okay, so family recipes from there?
I have tons of them, man.
Dude, how many of those can I get?
What's it worth to you? I'm always up for horse trading, man. What do you got?
I got a couple kids.
Oh yeah, I got plenty of those. I'll give you some if you want to take them off my hands.
I'll watch your kid for every day I get one of your kids, I get a recipe.
Good thing I got a couple of hundred.
So what's your favorite recipe from the Homeland then that your family brought over with them? And part 2 to that, is it hard to get the original ingredients?
It is. Some of the stuff you got to make from scratch. But, we're talking about charcuterie trays and like Italian cured meats and stuff. We have some really great recipes for our own versions of cured meats, cheeses, making cheese from scratch. And then sort of like a chimichurri sauce, but made from, homegrown Italian herbs, Colombian chilies, cold pressed olive oil, stuff like that.
Oh, a spicy chimichurri then.
Yeah.
Eat that, Al Fragoni.
Good
I shouldn't
stuff.
say it because he will be on this show. Not this one, but he's definitely coming on the Friday show at some point.
Oh, yeah?
Nombre said so, yeah. And Big Hov, Hobby's Cross, he said he's going to come on. And
very cool.
Hey, I just love that I can like text the sensei. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, oh, down here in Monterey, Mexico. And he showed me the view of his room. And it's like basically they had him like on the third floor overlooking like the dance floor of the party where everyone's out there just partying. And his room was like up on top like a Don watching over it, man. I was just like, you're living, man. You don't exist. You're living.
I think we need to give him a new
I think we're going to work out a deal where I can get to try. I was like, dude, we got to get some of these sausages to Ohio for a collab, man. I was like, because this is going to be the ultimate collab. I want to act like I'm doing all this stuff, like all these ingredients, making this sauce. And I'm just going to be like, and throw it in the trash and then just eat the piece of sausage plain. Yeah. So, okay. So next time we're going to talk about dry aged meats from Italian culture, charcuterie, like how all that has developed over time to what we look at it as now. How close is it now to what it was originally meant to be? And I'm like, this people have to understand this is a pre-refrigeration thing. So this was true survival to where now it's more of a, wow, look how cool I am. I can make charcuterie, but it was the survival of the fittest. So I'll be curious to see what old Rev's got here for us on what was survival and what's been foofied and added on since then.
How much do you like bologna?
Not a big like Bologna guy. I mean, there's one around here called like Trail Bologna, but it's nothing like regular bologna, and it's like this Amish company that makes it, and it's really, really, really good. But that's the only bologna I go out of my way to eat. Why do you ask?
Because you're gonna have to try something called mortadella.
Ah, I've had mortadella.
You know that's where bologna came from, right?
I did not. I've only had it like once before, and I couldn't tell you what exactly it was, but I remember the name and I remember having it. Shout out Hand Hewn Farm, aka the cousin. They're yeah, man. I'm pretty excited about that. I need to get out there. I'm blowing that one. I need to get out there and learn some stuff. I've been out there. I went out one time and they showed me how to do like they hand weave the nets around the they harvest a hog, they blow up the bladder and intestines and stuff and have it up there drying. Then they soak it in water. Then you stuff the meat down in it. And then they do like the hand hewn, like not the hand hewn, the hand woven like hemp nets where you with the support. I forget what you'd call that. What is that called?
Where you suspend them and
but like the stringing technique where you make your net like a hemp net.
Yeah, it's called weaving.
Weaving, yeah. So like I had to do that once, and it was awesome, and I already forgot how to do it, but that was a pretty cool thing because you got to get it tight. They get them ribs because when you're netting, you're supposed to tie them really tight to get like you want like the dimples like to pop out in between the holes because it helps with the aging process or something.
Yeah,
probably the compression helps with the compression of helping it age properly.
Well, both, because then you try to squeeze all the air pockets and shit out.
I was going to say, yeah, air is bad. Air is very, very bad in processing and dry aging.
So when you tighten those nets, you get that hexagonal pattern or that diamond pattern.
It's beautiful.
It is. But that's the thing. It forces all the air and liquid out. And it gives space. It also gives spaces for all your meat to go. So where the actual string is making contact with the meat, all the meat bulges out in those triangle patterns. So you have less surface area that's covered.
Okay.
So it helps it breathe.
Well, I mean, that makes sense though then. Okay. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you know what's funny about food, Rev, is when you learn techniques of one kind, not a lot changes to different kinds. Like once you like, it's literally just it's like the smoking and everything like that. Like my first smoker, it was the offset. I got the Kamado, and then like within like a week and a half, I had it dialed in already because I was like, okay, I understand the concept, the science of heat, and how it will work in this unit. Like once you
Same
understand
stuff.
like the basic processes, like it's literally just fine tuning to different processes of different cultures, but they all get the same job done. Just use different local ingredients to get the flavor profiles, and that is the
Exactly.
beautiful thing of food.
Sure is.
America. I said that a
America.
lot tonight. Even though
Sure
this
did.
country's going to hell in a handbasket some days, I'm still proud of it.
Yeah, we're still the best country in the world.
Hey, say it every day. Hey, Willow seasoning might be the best seasoning in this American country, which is the best in the world. So, which might make
100% all
Willow seasoning.
natural, no additives or preservatives.
Nope, it clumps up every time, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to. It breaks right back up, people. Trust me, just give it a little shaky. But yeah, everybody, hey, Rev, appreciate your big old brain, man. Italy, who would have thought that was the one that really, like, now we got to do 2 episodes, but that's the way it is.
Yep.
So, all right, dudes, dudettes, we thank you very much, and we'll talk to you on episode 5, part 2, Italian cuisine of random thoughts with Rev, White Trash Mike. Yeehaw.